Now when you set up a new tank, it's very common to have little bubbles all over the glass, and it's not uncommon for people to give me a call and say there's something faulty with their glass. But if you just run a rubber magnet cleaner over it, beautiful. These razor blade magnet cleaners are fabulous. Setting up this new aquarium, the most important thing is water ager. So this is Prime. It's a very good water ager. You really don't need to use much at all. It's like 1 mil per 40 litres. So just chuck a bit of that in. Now that will work instantly, and we'll get rid of all our chlorines, chloromones and stuff like that. Now we're also, Sydney tap water tends to have quite a low KH. So I'm just going to put a bit of this in. And then what we want to do is give the water a test in a few days and just see where we're at. That's something we can slowly get right. Then goldfish salt. Oh, okay. So that's going to affect our GH. Probably need more than that, but it's only a small problem. So it'll start dissolving. Now with any of these products like Quick Start, you've got to make sure that you add them after you add the water ager. If you add that one before that one, then you can wreck it. And these sorts of products are really better off in the fridge once you've opened them. So just whack it in the fridge and get more life out of it. So whenever you add new fish, it never hurts to add a little bit of Quick Start. Just basically help to give us some good bacteria in our tank. Obviously you can measure it all and do it properly. Or you can be like Nan making a cake. Now over here we've got a bunch of just random stuff. So here's all the stuff I really want to see for this tank. We've got some salt for the immune system and body slime. We've got some alkalinity just to raise the KH a little bit. We've got some good bacteria just to make sure the good bacteria establishes. And then we've got some water ager, which is the most important thing that has to go in every time. Now, just looking at some other stuff we've got some stress zyme. Once again, I would rather that be in the fridge, but that's a similar product to that one. We have some stress coat, which is a sort of similar product to Prime. We've got some Amaloc, which is really for if you get ammonia in the water. It's really not a bad thing to have on hand, but the Prime will also do that. If you 5 times dose the Prime, it'll do the same thing as the Amaloc. So it'll lock up the ammonia. It doesn't mean it fixes it, but it locks it up so the fish will be okay. Now we've got a antibacterial medication. So if you ever see like a white haze on the fish, you could certainly look at dosing your Malefics. You don't want to have any carbon or polyfilter or any polishers in the water when you're using that. Now we've got an algae fix. Hopefully we'll never have to use that. If you're getting a lot of sunlight and your lights are on too long, then maybe you might want it. Then we've got another bacteria product. So let's put that in the same line as these ones. Once again, really better in the fridge once you've opened it. It is winter at the moment, so maybe you get away with it. We've got some test strips. Never hurts to check them every now and then. Now we've got GH and KH. Now these ones here are titration tests. So you're actually counting the drops, and the KH lines up with this one, and the GH lines up with that one. So if your GH is too high, or your KH is too high, I want you to do a water change. If your KH is too low, I'd want you to add some of this. So I'd want your KH at least 4, if not 6. So that means you're going to drop it until it changes color. And then your GH, I want more like about 8 to 10. And if the GH is too low, you can add more of that. I'd rather add less of products and then add a little bit more than add too much, and then you have to water change to get it out. Now we've also got a ammonia test kit in a new tank. That's a good thing to be aware of, or if you're getting new fish. And we've got some extra biological media that you could put in your filter, but personally I'd use Marine Pure. I think it's much better. We've got some pipe cleaners and that. They're really good to have. Bit of old carbon. Got a little bit of extra water ager. That's in the same category as that one. It's very common that I'll go through someone's stash and find many of the same thing. So when you're coming down to see us at the shop, there's sort of two things that we really want you to do. One is make us video. We want to see what's going on with the tank. We want to look at the water flow. This tank could do with the power head, so it's not really that important. But as you get more fish in here, I'd actually consider putting a power head just here. And then what the power head would do is shoot water down that way. So this is not an urgent issue, but if I was going to have a lot of fish in this tank, I'd probably add a little bit more water flow, but I would put that in the very not urgent pile. Now, when you come to see us in the shop, we want you to bring a video so we can see everything that's going on. We also want to see all your stuff, because if you show us all the stuff you got, very commonly, you've already got the thing that we need to sell you. We might sell you that one when you could have used that one or whatever. So if you just lay out what you got, let us have a little bit of a look, then we can probably allow you to use the stuff you've got instead of selling you another one. And then you bring us a sample of water. So the other thing I really want to see in the video, I really want to see your food, because fish keeping is ultimately 50% water quality. And if you bring us a water sample and a video, I can check your water quality and it's 50% food. So this food here is a very high quality food, but I would probably move on once I've run out of that one, and I would use Spectrum's probiotics because it's a cleaner food, and I would probably add about 20% of the diet. I would put Dainichi Color. So now we're just going to wait a couple of days, let the temperature get up to 25 degrees. Actually, we want the temperature as the same as this one. So now that the water's treated, it's really only the temperature we're waiting for. So once you ascertain that this one and that one are the same temperature, and you could check the pH of both, and then once the pH and temperature is the same, you can just catch the fish and throw them straight in. And if you're going to chuck them all in at one go, it would be a very good idea just to put these filters on that tank as well, even if they didn't stay there. Because you could have the filters on the tank, run them for, say, a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, then you could take them off. Because this tank is a very good filter, and this filter will easily do the tank on its own.